Holy. Look, I just want you to take a moment and look at how much jobs have been lost because of AI. Click here somewhere. Meta laid off 8,000 people. ASML laid off 1,700 people. Uh, Amazon 16,000. Epic Games 1,000. Oracle probably I'd say 30,000. And honestly, like, this is just gonna keep on getting worse and worse because of AI. I made a video about it like not too long ago predicting this. Um, Granted, that video was like a few months ago, but I mean, it's, from that to what happened now, look at how many people have lost their job because of AI. And imagine, like, once we actually give them more time. Because, like I said, this is like, I would say this is like the beginning of AI. Like, cause I mean, I don't know how many people lost their jobs before to AI, but like, this is the one. Sorry, my black cat. But this is like the one stark example of like honestly, I think this is the first time I've seen like such this is the first time I've seen anyone get laid off because of AI. Sure, there've been talks like, oh, there's always been talks that AI could do this, but to actually see it happen to people, like it, I don't know, it just makes me worried for the future because imagine like I said, like once AI, cause AI is like um it's limited to a computer. But imagine in the future, probably in a couple years, when either Elon Musk, Meta, or any of those big tech companies like actually come out with like a humanoid robot, and then in their chest is like a modem or monitor. So like, you know, instead of like having like the computer will still do it, but instead of you could just go to an individual robot. I'm imagining it. You can go to an individual robot right in the little monitor. What you want, like, okay, I want this code. Um, then once you're done, like those simple instructions, like get the code for this specifically here and repeat or something like that. But I imagine that kind of feature and like just imagine how many jobs would be lost not only in the tech industry because it's it was inevitable. It was always gonna happen at some point. But to see it happen so fast and so many people, it's like, damn. And like, can you imagine how many of those people actually have degrees? And like I said, I can only imagine like in the future it's just gonna get worse because like I mentioned with my example, like what if one day they make a humanoid robot and they put the computer there? You could theoretically you could instruct that robot, the boss or CEO could be like, okay, I want you to like this is gonna be your spot cashier spot and like imagine like robot like you this a CEO instead of hiring someone they could just program an AI a robot AI and be like okay I want you to turn the fries at this degree and like do all this stuff like that we originally thought was okay only humans can do. Like now we could see the possibility of humanoid robot AI do it for us. like delivery drivers. What else? I mean, we're kind of seeing the delivery driver, but like fast food industry. Like, imagine you go to name place McDonald's, and usually there's like some people there. There's a cook, cashier. Um, there's people who manage the drive-through, and then the coffee. Well, there's always gonna be people, but imagine. And now that I'm talking about it, I remember seeing like a post that they tried this kind of on in Texas that like it's a whole empty, it's a whole like modern McDonald's. It's obviously, and when you go in, it's like everything works, but it's like empty. There's no humans in there, and like it's only robots. And I'm just saying, like, I know that's a small example, but imagine if they do it in a bigger scale, and imagine the amount of jobs that would be lost then. And we're not just talking about McDonald's, we're talking about like, or it can happen in the retail, like, cause eventually it's gonna happen to the retail, and um, retail, and then like at some point, like I don't know, like caretakers, like I could just imagine a humanoid AI robot like ruining a lot of part-time jobs, like jobs that were meant for kids, like 18-year-olds, 16, 17-year-olds. Like imagine like imagine like back in probably in the early 2000s, I bet like a kid not fresh out of college but still in high school could like get like a job at a pizza parlor, and their job is like delivery guy slash like making the pizzas. Well, fast forward 20 years, 26 years later, or 30 years later, fast forward, now they're instead of like hiring that, but instead of hiring that person, instead you could just buy one time, like a one time purchase. It's gonna be large, but you could technically buy like a robot, and then you could program it. Okay, this is your role. You're gonna, if you get food, you're gonna deliver it to the said address, and then collect money or whatever, and you need tip. And then uh, when someone asks you for, and then when you come back to the station, to the store, you can make, you know, um, how do you call it? You can put in a program to be like, okay, this is how you make pizza, and then like deep dish pizza. Like I know I'm repeating myself, but I can really imagine this like really ruining a lot of jobs, retail, fast food. Um, like limiting those jobs. Like, of course, there's always gonna be like there's always has to be like a human there to make sure like the machines are doing what they're supposed to, and like no one's really messing with the machines. But those jobs are gonna be like the high end jobs, and like the one thing I don't like about this is that now we're entering an era where you will only get a job if you know someone that's already in it. So I'll give you an example. I saw a TikTok earlier. So this girl, she went to um, she has a she's an educated girl. She went to college and got her bachelor's degree. And the only job that would accept her was a cashier. At, I'm guessing a fast food or someplace, but a cashier nonetheless. Well, a couple days or a couple months after she was hired in cashier, she one day got fired. And since I'm assuming that it's probably not AI because we're not that advanced yet, especially in the public, I'm kind of led to this suggestion, and that is that she was fired because some other person who's A, younger, and B, probably has probably have one of their friends like talk to the manager and be like, hey, can you fire this cashier because my friend wants to work here, and she's young. um, so obviously the logical thing was to do that, to fire the bot, to fire this girl, even though she's very educated, to fire her from this simple cashier job, and then hire the other person that one hire one of the people that my employees is friends with. So, and then she like, and I don't know. It's just gonna be really, really. I know it is hard already to get a job, but now it's gonna be really, really hard with the um limited jobs. Like once they do introduce an AI robot, like it's gonna be a lot harder to get a job, and that's why um I personally believe that this doing social media is, kind of the only option at this point. Um, yeah, it's just sad to see this amount of people get laid off. Like, look, so many people. If I had to guess, these were like this probably adds up to like 50,000 people at least, or 45, around that range. But yeah, it's just sad. Like I said, it's just very sad, and it really does paint a grim. Look, they're even like, this is like gambling site, so people are even gambling of like that's what I think the features are gonna be. Like one of the major thing is gonna be gambling, because there's people that gamble about this. You do. There's probably a gamble thing right now of like over under how long do you think in like, but do you think like by this year, by some year it's gonna be like there's gonna be robots, probably some bet on it. I wouldn't be surprised, but I mean like, uh, like I'm repeating, it's just gonna be very, very hard, especially in the future. It's gonna be hard to get a job, and like not really sympathize with people who spent 4 years, 4 hard years to get a job. And then now that AI is introduced, like they could probably get fired just to like make the company more money, I guess. Like now that I'm thinking about it, here's another thing. So my friend, she went to George Mason. I think she went 4 years, got her bachelor, became like a lawyer or like a nurse. I think a lawyer, some kind of law person. But now I think like her job is in trouble, especially if she plans to make this her career in the future. Because, like I said, probably in the future, there will probably AI will probably be able to to do her job pretty much. So it's like I said, just gonna leave a lot of people out in the dust and not knowing what to do. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna end it here. just wanted to say that bit, you know, bring attention to this problem because this is a growing problem. You know, it's just gonna get worse and worse. Right now, this is like just the tip of the iceberg, pretty much. But other than that, please like, subscribe, and listen again. Bye.